Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about the t-shirt launcher. This was a very simple problem, but it was very convoluted and long in the telling of it. So if you remember, we've got the Word document that's got all this information, a lot of vocabulary that you're not even really necessary to know about physics. Here's the output, which is what we're going to model ours after. So it's got a couple of things at the beginning, 2 prompts, a title, and then these are the repetition parts that we'll deal with in a loop. More information, lots more than you'd ever need to know to solve this. Here are our 2 formulas that we will need, okay? And then because we're using trigonometry, some of you underclassmen who haven't had trig yet, this is just a reminder, anytime you use trig, you have to turn the angle from degrees into radians using this method. A few more vocabulary, and then some pseudocode down here if you're not familiar on how we're going through it. So we get the prompts from the user, we create a value while it hasn't hit the ground is our loop, and then inside the loop we do all these things, okay? So this is where we're going to get a lot of our information from, and I'll just copy this stuff right now because that's where we'll go. All right, so to recap the pseudocode, we've got our prompts, then we've got our loop. Inside, we have to do a few things. We have to print at every second, so that's how we're incrementing. We need to calculate x and y, and then we need to increment time, okay? So we got a few things going on. Yes, these are very short and simple, but they'll be replaced as we go. All right, so our prompts, system.out.print. Okay, got that. I forgot it. Yeah, that's what happens when you paste stuff inside a quote. My bad. This part will actually be an ln later on, and we'll need one after that, so there we go. Okay. After these, we need 2 little variables. Because we're dealing with high number values, trigonometry, and lots of other things, we're going to make sure most of our values are decimals. So this is our velocity. We'll just call that vel. Scan.next double. Whatever they give us, we'll make sure it's a double value. Same thing down here, only this time this is our angle, so we'll call that ang. And that needs a semicolon. Okay, so there's our prompting. We're good with that part. We have our projection path, and then we need a few starting variables, okay? So we don't know how long the object will be up in the air. It's going to depend on what the user provides us with. But one thing we can control is our time. So we'll make sure time is given as 0. And just to be consistent, we'll put everything as a double. Okay? Now the other thing we need is what defines when we hit the ground. Well, that means we've come all the way back up and we've hit 0 again as our height. So we're going to go ahead and make y a value. In fact, we'll just set it equal to 0 since that's where it's going to start. And then we'll make a while loop. Now the reason why we do a while loop is because, again, everything is unknown. We don't know how long it's up in the air. We don't know what's going on, and that takes care of our loop. Look back at our values. We've got all that. So we need to label time, print it out. Then we need to print our x and y positions. Okay, so system.out.print time, and I include whatever time is, and then I put second. Okay. that will take care of that. Then I need this stuff. Okay, I'm going to tab over, and then I'm going to have X position, and that's when I'm going to have XPOS as my variable. Do the same thing after that, and that will be my YPOS. YPOS has already been declared. We do, however, need to take care of XPOS. Okay. All right, now where to get these formulas? We already saw these. These are down here. So these are in math terms, which means we're going to have to convert these into Java here in just a moment. So let me copy these over. I'll come back. Okay, so the top one's actually pretty much similar to the other one too. Okay, so cosine of an angle, I'm just going to do a replacement as I get going. So to do a cosine, math.cos. Because I'm using an angle, I need to make sure that it is in radians. So math.2radians, as it showed us right here. And then I just need to put my variable that has my angle, ang. We put that up here. Time is still time. Launch velocity up here, we declared it as vel. You're welcome to use their variable names if you want, but I'm just going to use what we did because less to type. Okay? There's the X position. I'm good. Now, that's most of the whole thing here on this first half, except that I'll need to change cosine to sine. So I'm just going to be lazy and swap that out. All right, so this now becomes sin for cosine. And I'm going to go ahead. This is probably unnecessary, but it's just me being cautious. I'm going to put all of that first half that's multiplied together in a parenthesis, and I'll put all of this back half in a parenthesis as well. 0.5 is good. That's a double. 9.8 is a double. We're good there. Time, this is actually time squared. So we do actually need to change this. So math squared is an exponent, which is raising to a power. And we take our time value and we raise it to a 2. Okay, let's see. Got a small error somewhere. YPOS, this is why we declared it beforehand, is greater than or equal to 0. I'm only interested in this while it's in the air. Let's see. Okay, all right, so \U 2013. Okay, this is a character error. Now, depending on your fonts, not all white space is created equal. So what that means is I just need to go through and I need to replace all these spaces. Eventually, it will disappear. I said it's a space error. It could be any. Of course, it's going to be it. Okay, I might edit this part out because it's close. Okay, so yes, if you get one of those U character errors, what's going on is something you typed in there is not compatible with the IDE. I'm not sure what it was. I ended up just having to make a new line and type the entire thing again. I left all the parentheses out just in case. Should not have mattered. In fact, I'll put them back in now just to double check. So there's over the whole thing. Let's do the first half. No error. Let's do the back half. No error. See, so it works the exact same way. I'm not sure why it did that. Okay, so time is 0. We calculate these values. We print these values. Inside the loop, we need to make sure time increments. Okay, we printed it every second. We calculate the values, and we've incremented time. So that should be it. So let's take a quick look at their value. 15 and 60. We run it. $15, $60. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Okay, this is what I was expecting. All right, so because we haven't built in any buffers, there is the issue that we're going to, bury the projectile, whatever the case may be. We're assuming it's a ball or something very lightweight so that it's not actually going to do that. So we need to clarify what is going on here, which means we just need to add an if test. So it's only for the y value. So if y pos is less than 0, because that's the exception. Okay, I do want to print something, but not this. And then when I'm done, I'm going to break out of the loop just to know that I'm done. Actually, I don't have to because I'm not changing the y value. Okay, I'm good. And then right here, this will be my else. So otherwise, it's going to print what you see there, the exact same thing. Now, if I'm less than 0, I'm assuming it just hits the ground and maybe rolls along it. So I don't want to give it a specific value. We can just go ahead and say it is 0 meters. And in fact, I don't think I added the m value to all of these. So that, and then up here for the x. And yeah, that should work. Okay, let's check it again. So this time, let's get errors. Oh, I never closed the port. There we go. Okay, so this time the numbers should match, including the bottom one this time for that same value. Okay, 0, 0, 7, 8, 15, 6, 22, 0. 8, 15, 6, 22. There we go. Oh, so that they actually just want 0. We can do that. All right, and that's it. So we had a little bit of an issue here with the copy-paste error, but other than that, works well. Thank you.